living.
Jacqueline Lewis is back on the show with us this morning from Ruby Falls. She was here not too long ago talking about an historical exhibit that they have set up in the lobby there at Ruby Falls. But this morning she's back taking us on a new tour that they have. Good to see you.
Definitely. Good to see you.
So you were telling me that this one, in part because it is new, but you've done it twice.
Yes.
This is one of your favorite tours now that we're talking about.
It's great. This is our geology tour. So this is a longer in length tour. You'll spend more time down in the cave. It's a smaller group and you're led by an expert guide who really kind of delves deep into the geology of the cave, how the cave was formed, and all the different chemical reactions that occurred to create some of our formations.
So I took a geology class in college too, actually. I was always that kid that loved the box of rocks that we used to have as kids growing up, and then I go look for them in my neighborhood. But I've forgotten far more than I ever learned. But the idea of the complete, eons and ages that have gone into the formations of these mountains, it's almost not fathomable.
It's very incomprehensible to us with our lifespan. But a formation grows half a cubic inch every 100 years. So
like the stalagmite and stalactites, they grow?
So very, very slowly. And they really grow from this process called chemical weathering. So that's when slightly acidic water, which is like the water that's flowing through the watershed through like a Lookout Mountain, is naturally slightly acidic. It's like a natural reaction that happens. As that slightly acidic water moves through the mountain, it dissolves the limestone, leaving calcite deposits.
Okay,
so
and that's what forms?
The calcite builds up very, very slowly, and that's when you get stalactites and stalagmites or columns or bell formations. There's a ton of different types of formations, and this tour really points out the different ones and then explains the unique process for each type of formation.
Okay, I think you were telling me that it looks at the mountain in general as well as Ruby Falls specifically. So there's something like a hidden fossil or a hidden...
Yeah, well there's tons of fossils all through Lookout Mountain. It's pretty common actually. So limestone is formed from shell and sand.
You've learned a lot.
I have. I took notes in my last one because it was so fascinating. History is not my strongest subject. So when I, really do learn something about history that's in such a scaled back perspective. Yeah. So the rocks that form Lookout Mountain, those are 350 million years old.
Wow.
So they're older than the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And when that limestone formed from all the shell and sand, originally from the bottom of a shallow ocean that used to be located there, like millions and millions of years ago, fossils, kind of occurred with the formation of those rocks. Okay. So there's one spot in the tour where you get to see coral that's fossilized in the rock.
That's crazy.
Ancient. Yeah, and it's
coral in a mountain.
I never would have seen it unless it was pointed out to me. And I've walked by it, countless times.
Wow. So when you're signing up and getting your ticket to come into Ruby Falls, you then have your option to choose the geology tour versus the traditional tour.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it here for a limited time only, or do you think it's here to stay?
I think it's here to stay. We launched it just a few weeks ago. It's been really successful and popular so far.
Yeah.
It's only offered a few times a week. Right now it's just once a week, but we hope to roll it out more times throughout the week.
Right.
They do sell out in advance, as you can imagine. They're higher in demand. So we do recommend making your reservation at least a few days in advance.
So you are not a geologist. It's totally unfair for me to put you on the spot, but you said something earlier about a formation occurs or grows half an inch every 100 years.
Yes.
I think that's what you said.
Yes.
So if we're doing the tour and we're coming upon some of the areas, they always will stop, I think, and point it out where the really impressive stalagmites and stalactites are. If they're, yay high, that's a lot of half inches.
It is. So our largest formation, it's called the Leaning Tower. It's actually a bell formation, so it kind of comes down and then swoops out and then it kind of cuts off. And I can explain that if you want, but
Sure, I've got 2 minutes.
well, because of the size and a few other sort of ways of understanding how old that formation is, it's approximately 3 to 5 million years old. And that's the oldest known formation that we have in the cavern.
You know, I think about coming to Ruby Falls from the standpoint of just the observer, right? And the fun getting out and being a tourist in your own town.
Sure.
I bet that you get, though, people from all over the world who are geologists who want to come and see.
Yeah, we do. We also get a lot of people who are interested in geology and interested in caves, and this is their first exposure, like in real life, to seeing some of the things that they learned about in school or in their geology class or whatnot.
You mentioned that this one's a little bit more of an in-depth study, so it's longer. How long is it?
It's approximately an hour and a half.
And the typical tour is about 45 minutes to an hour?
It's about an hour typically.
Yeah, so it's not much longer.
It's not much longer, for sure, but it's a lot more information.
And it's okay to bring pen and paper to take notes if you want to?
100%, yes, I recommend it.
Yeah, because we were having a conversation off camera that the older we get, the harder it is to hold on to it. So that's a good idea to write it down. Not to age you or anything.
No, not at all, not at all. I typically have to take notes and write things down, especially when it's dealing with millions of years of information and
that is incomprehensible.
Chemical processes.
And if it's been a while since you've been to Ruby Falls, I will remind you too, they've done so much to expand and renovate up there. So eat while you're up there. See this historical tour exhibit that we talked about that's focusing on the Big 9 district here in Chattanooga, and just enjoy being a tourist in your own town.
For sure, yeah, we have a lot to do when you visit, so I hope more, and anyone who wants to come on down, and there'll be plenty of things for you to do.
Just wear a light sweater, right? It's always like 60-something degrees down there.
Yeah, wear a light sweater and sturdy walking shoes.
There you go. So Ruby Falls website is the place to go, rubyfalls.com. I think you can get your tickets in advance, can't you?
Yes, you sure can.
That makes it very easy when you get there, and it's a wonder of the world for sure, as far as I'm concerned. So thank you, Jacqueline.
Thank you.
Cod Tree Service